Ryan from Functional Flex, and we're in the Strength Cave. Today we're going to talk about intermittent fasting. If you don't know what intermittent fasting is, hang on tight with me because in a few minutes I'm going to break down the 101 for you and give you all the steps. You can even try it out if you want to. I'm going to teach you how to do it. So basically, intermittent fasting, to simplify it, it's going to be a period of time where you're eating and a period of time where you're not eating. So basically, the term intermittent fasting is a shitty term because anytime you're between meals or anything like that, you're technically doing a form of intermittent fasting. Now, the one that you're gonna see out in the industry that's touted for fat loss, weight loss, muscle building, growth hormone release, all those things, is actually gonna be a little bit more strict and a little bit more controlled. It's gonna be a short duration eating window with a long duration fasting window. And typically the most common version you guys are gonna see is called the Lean Gains protocol, and it's gonna be an 8-hour feeding window followed by a 16-hour fasting window. So that sounds pretty crazy right out the gate, right? If you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, but trust me, it's not as bad as it sounds. Basically, intermittent fasting is gonna be good for all types of people, right? Anybody trying to achieve fat loss, anybody trying to achieve weight loss, anybody trying to build muscle, improve insulin sensitivity, release more growth hormone. All these things are gonna come into play. It's really good for people that are super busy. What are the benefits of intermittent fasting? Well, fat burning, cell repair, GH release, metabolic rate improvement, appetite control, blood sugar control, cardiovascular function, and neuroplasticity. Just cover a few benefits. Let's talk about some of these specifics. Fat loss is mainly going to be coming from caloric restriction, and what I mean by that is you're restricting the time frame in which you're going to eat calories. So if you're doing the traditional Lean Gains protocol, it's going to be that 8-hour feeding window. So you're going to eat all of your food in 8 hours. Automatically, for most people, this is going to put you into caloric deficit, right? Because you're simply not going to be eating all day. You're not going to be snacking. You're not going to be doing all this crazy stuff during your 16-hour fasting window. So it's going to result in less calories, which means more fat burning. The benefits for cell repair are gonna come right from the fact that your body is not digesting food 24/7, right? A lot of these fitness protocols for meal plans and things like that are gonna tell you to eat every 2-3 hours on the dot, nonstop, and some people even wake up in the middle of the night to pound a shakedown or whatever because they wanna stay anabolic. Well, what happens when you guys do that, your digestive tract, your digestive system never stops processing food. It's always working, it's always digesting, and it's always going at it. Too many people think that you eat something, it's digested in like 10 minutes. It's not the case. Some foods take hours and hours, so when we actually stop digesting foods for a little bit, this 16-hour window of time, you give your body time to focus instead on doing some cell repair. Growth hormone release, right? So as you fast for a long period of time, you guys, your body's gonna get into a state where it's gonna go sort of catabolic, right? So you're actually not gonna be in an anabolic state the entire time if you're not eating. But guess what? Anabolism and catabolism comes no matter what throughout the day, no matter what you're doing or whatever time of day it is. You know, working out is catabolic. People always forget this kind of thing. It's not the end of the world. But what happens when you go catabolic in a fasting state for a long period of time, right about 14, 15 hours into your fast, you get a release of growth hormone. You're gonna get a spike in your growth hormone to try to preserve a lean body mass and lean tissue, right? So that's actually super beneficial if you get it timed right and you know what it's gonna do, because you can do your workouts, you can eat better, you can do things like that and have a higher growth hormone production. Metabolic rate increase, that's gonna come straight from the fact that doing this short duration overfeeding window, if you will, in this 8-hour period of time, you're gonna really spike your metabolism. Your body's gonna be taking in a lot of calories, a lot of food at once, which gets a lot of hormones to fire up. That metabolism is gonna go through the roof, and then while you're fasting, it's still gonna be pretty rev for a good part of that. So you're gonna be burning pretty much just fat during that fasting period. Appetite controls straight gonna come from the fact that you're not gonna be being a sugar burner, right? And not everybody knows that term. Basically, that means that every hour and a half, every 2 hours, you have to eat something or you're gonna die because you're so used to eating carbs and all this stuff every few hours to fuel your body. Your appetite's gonna get controlled after a few days of doing this kind of fasting diet, because basically your body's gonna instead start to turn more so for fat storages for energy instead of just what you're eating. So you can better control your calories, you can better control your appetite, and you can stay more focused for the goal of fat loss. So this stuff is showing some crazy results, right? This stuff's all backed in research, you guys, these benefits that it gives you. And over time, you know, they keep testing these things, and sometimes it's showing even better stuff than what the old tests are showing. So if you actually want to try it out, it's not all that hard. Basically, what you got to do first is you got to figure out your calories, your macros, or your meal plan, right? Whatever you're going to do, you got to know your goals. So if you're trying to build muscle, you're trying to burn fat, what are you trying to do with intermittent fasting in the first place? Then you got to make sure you got your calories, your macros, and your meals down so that you can prepare for that 8-hour feeding window. Then you simply got to choose the time of day that you're going to eat. So pick your eating window. Maybe it's best to do it in the morning, in the evening, whatever works for you. I would definitely suggest you do a majority of your fasting window at nighttime, okay? So the best way to do it is to eat kind of an early dinner, not late, not like 9 p.m. or anything like that, and fast a little bit in the night, and then fast a lot as you sleep, and then fast even more in the morning, and hit a lunch right after your workout. That's gonna be the best way to do it. But basically, figure out what works for your lifestyle, figure out how it's gonna fit into your day, try different things, and see how it works. You gotta have some type of metric to track your progress as you guys go. I recommend measurements and pictures to everybody. Do them weekly, do them on the same day. If you're trying to monitor your weight for some reason, go ahead and weigh in on the same day, okay? But you need to track things. You have to track, otherwise you're gonna have no idea where you've been or no idea where you're going. Based on the progress you see with your tracking, you're gonna want to adjust course. So it may mean adjusting your caloric intake, adjusting your macros, adjusting your meals. Maybe you need to change your time of day for your eating window because it's not working for you, whatever it is. You gotta look at the whole thing and you gotta adjust as needed. More and more customization for you and your lifestyle, your goals, all the things that are gonna come into play when you're doing this type of fasting protocol. Final piece then is you gotta decide if this is a lifestyle for you. You cannot simply decide that this is a diet, you're gonna do it for a few weeks or something like that. It's not really gonna give you any benefits, guys. I don't believe in diets. Diets mean there's an ending. You wanna create lifestyles, you want things that work, you want things that are gonna work for a little bit of time, a substantial amount of time, that you can live with them and you can see the results and you can actually see if it works for you and your lifestyle. I definitely recommend a flexible dieting lifestyle. If you try to do some intermittent fasting, you're gonna wanna get some treats in there, of course, but you gotta do mainly healthy, good foods. If you have to ask me if it's a healthy, good food, it's not. Stop, go get something else, pick something better that you don't have to question if it's healthy or not. As a general overview, I've been doing intermittent fasting on and off for about 5 years. 2012 was the first time I ever discovered intermittent fasting, started studying it, reading up on it, seeing some good stuff, and then I tried it out myself. Did the lean gains protocol, the 8-hour feeding window with the 16-hour fasting window, and saw some good results for sure. A lot of the benefits come actually into the mindset, right? So I come from being super overweight at one point in my life, having trouble controlling what I was eating and binging and eating all kinds of bad shit. And this was dramatically beneficial to me in my mindset point of view to know that I could actually control my eating into an 8-hour window and control my fasting for 16 hours, because if I could do that, then I could definitely stick to the diet. Now, I have always fallen back into an intermittent fasting type diet. Doesn't matter what I've done. I've broken off a few times to try other things. I like to do experiments with my body and see results, just as I'm telling you to do it here. And I always fall back into some type of an eating window. I've done warrior fast, which is one meal pretty much. You only eat one meal in the day and you fast everything else. And I've done all kinds of different protocols, you guys, and I always come back to this type of style because it just simply works for me and it works for what I'm trying to do with my body and my lifestyle and all that. That does not mean that it's the see-all be-all for you and what you're trying to achieve. So you guys gotta really look at the customization here. You gotta look at your lifestyle. Is this stuff gonna work? What are your goals? What are you trying to do? Can you actually do the 8-hour window? Can you actually fast for 16 hours? Is this stuff gonna work with you and your lifestyle? And here's the best way to figure it out. You try it. You gotta try it for a couple weeks, so you can't just set out and do a day or some crazy shit like that. You really gotta give it time to actually work a little bit so you can assess if it's a good thing or not. I'd say a minimum of 7 to 14 days of straight up intermittent fasting to know if it's gonna work for you and your lifestyle. Obviously, if you figure out it doesn't work sooner than that, drop it. But you gotta at least give it the benefit of the doubt for a few weeks to really assess, can you fit it in? Can you get your calories in? Are you able to fit it with your lifestyle? How do you feel? Is it working? Those type of things all need to come into play. Don't expect to see any dramatic result in those first few weeks, even few months. You're gonna wanna actually test it longer to see results But in the initial phase, you'll be able to tell if it's something you can fit into your lifestyle for the long haul. Most important thing I want you to remember, intermittent fasting is just another tool. It's gonna work great for some, and it's not gonna work at all for others. So you gotta give it a shot and try it out for yourself. When it comes to actual results, you guys, the most important thing always is going to be your actual calories and your macronutrients for your goals. So if you're trying to build muscle, you gotta have the right calories. If you're trying to burn fat, you gotta have the right calories. In actual backed research, you guys, fat loss is not actually determined by meal frequency. So you could eat 10 meals, you could eat 5, you could cram into an intermittent fasting window, you can eat them all day. It doesn't really actually make that much of a difference for fat loss, as long as you eat the right calories and macros. So don't assume that if you do an 8-hour feeding window, you can go eat a bunch of fucking pizza and ice cream and all this shit and still get fat loss results. It is not likely to happen, and it is important that you actually have meals and you actually have a plan and everything is still rolling the same as it should. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys like this video, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I got more stuff like this coming. Go ahead and comment and tell me what you thought. Have you tried intermittent fasting? Has it worked? Has it not? Let me know and we can talk about it. Also, if you guys want to check out my online coaching, I got free customized coaching plans on the website, functionalflexfitness.net. Thank you again.